brain slews, slick with ectoplasmic juice. Ecstatic energy, a fire that fuels our memory. With genealogy, with spiritual topography. Questions for your answers, we are data necromancers.
Yeah. Dude, how many weeks has it been? Fucking 2 weeks or some shit?
So. I don't know. Where you've been at?
I was in Virginia. I was at the Virginia Raceway.
What city is that near?
Alton?
What?
It's right on the border. It's right on the border, so you go in between North Carolina and Virginia. Like, if you're meandering around there.
Sounds like East Bumfuck.
Middle of nowhere, saw some creepy shit. I took the reins, I drove everywhere, and I saw some creepy things. I saw like a 400-pound older woman standing at a freshly dug grave. You know, because you're driving through Virginia farmland and you're like, ooh, really out here.
Was it empty?
Yes.
Oh.
And the people you came across, I'm like, these are people who...
These people need outreach.
These people used to hang people from trees.
Oh, shit.
Like, that's the kind of vibe I was getting. And,
not the lynchers.
And I passed that, and then I passed, like, this decrepit, falling apart farmhouse with, like, this older black woman. I don't know what happened. Obviously, I'm just driving by, but something had just happened, and she was sitting on the porch like this.
Holy shit.
And I was like, I just gotta get to the raceway. Oh, dee. But it's so funny being out there. It's so different than rural Texas. I don't know. It's just different.
Yeah, I would say that post-bellum, the South, there are some places that recovered more quickly than others. And rural Southern Virginia.
Getting your hair smelled. Okay, so, oh God.
Did somebody smell your hair?
So, there's like a restaurant on the property of the racetrack in like a old Southern Bell House. You'll love what I ordered.
On a plantation? Oh, tuna melt?
I ordered a Mediterranean chicken bowl. You know what I got? You know what I got, Megan?
Fucking, let me guess. Fucking goop with some, I don't know, olives on it?
Wild rice.
Okay.
With a gigantic heap of chicken fingers on it.
Oh, shit.
Just fried chicken. I was like,
hell yeah.
That's not what the menu said.
Well, little missy, you're going to have to check your tone.
I'm just going to fucking eat it.
Because this is what we've got.
Very strange.
Do they give you dressing or anything?
No. Nothing.
No chickpeas?
The chicken was so dry. Like, they fried it for like an hour.
Oh, God. Are they like fried it once and then accidentally forgot that they already fried it and fried it again?
But we're sitting down, and the table next to us, there were multiple motorcycle schools all at this happening at this racetrack, because there's 3 racetracks at this racetrack. There's so many racetracks going on. And I see a legend, a geriatric legend. His name is Keith Code. He wrote
I thought you were gonna say Dale Earnhardt.
His ghost.
I'm on 2 wheels, 4 wheels.
And he looks like he's very close to the end of his life. I couldn't believe that he was there, because he was old in the 80s.
Oh, shit.
I found a picture of him
40 years
in
ago.
1962, like riding a motorcycle. I was like, this man's been riding motorcycles a very, very long time. And I was super excited, because the first
elders.
The first motorcycle movie I ever bought was Twist of the Wrist. First motorcycle book I ever bought was Twist of the Wrist. I was like, oh my fucking God.
Was that his jammer?
Yeah, he wrote that. They were the people that had like cameras on the motorcycles in the 80s, like trying to figure it out.
Yeah.
You know, super pioneers of that stuff.
Hell yeah. What's
pioneers.
His name again?
Keith Code.
Keith Code.
And somebody notices that I notice him, and they're like, Keith, and I'm like, God damn it. And so Keith comes up to us. He's very confused, very old. I mean, he has got to be 1 billion years old. And he grabs my head like this.
Oh, no.
And he's like, you have really soft hair.
Oh, no, sir.
And I was like, man, this is why
you never meet your heroes.
I met Tom DeLonge, and it was kind of like a weird thing too. And I was like, I don't want to meet you.
Don't meet your heroes.
I don't want to meet you. And I was like really fucking grossed out by that. And then the picture.
But do you blame it on him being 1 billion? Or
He comes from the same thing. Like when we got to the racetrack, the guy checking us in is doing a perfect foghorn leghorn. I don't know what kind of fucking accent that is, but I do declare, like,
now
like,
I see the time is upon us.
It's like weird. It's almost a little effeminate. I don't know. It's
interesting,
strange.
Yeah,
he's like, just fucking, oh, look at these two beautiful creatures we got here. Look at the way y'all look in the light. And I'm like, oh, give me back to a city.
Yeah.
Any city.
God.
And he's like, y'all are bunking with me tonight. And I'm like, that's crazy. This is how it used to be. Like, you used to just be able to describe your sexual fantasies out loud, and that was socially acceptable. And Carolyn was like a little confused. She's like, oh, well, what do you mean? And I'm like, no, he's like saying that.
He's saying he wants to fuck us.
He's saying that he wants. And it was dark. I was like, ooh.
I'm so sorry that you went through that. That's so yucky.
And also, like, they're part of, Keith Code is part of the BMW Superbike School, which is a school I always wanted to go to. But after meeting him and then a lot of other the teachers at the restaurant, I was like, yuck. Whereas the school we went to was not like that at all. And
right.
We met another...
The champ school?
We went to Precision Track Day with a legendary racer, Ken Hill. And Ken was a fucking human being and treated us with respect and wasn't weird or creepy.
Imagine not referring to women as creatures. Dude. Well...
But it was a lot of fun. I
good.
Worked my butt off and I felt like a little bit out of shape, and it was hot out, and I haven't filmed anything in a long time, and also you're traveling, so you have to bring all the bits and bobs.
Yeah.
And like I missed some stuff, and I felt a little rusty, but I tried not to beat myself up. I'm like, I just had a baby and I haven't done this in a long
you're
time.
Fucking crushing it.
And
you're like a travel videographer, and you teach cooking or cocktail classes, and you're a fucking video editor, and you're a mom of 2. Like, shut up.
Yeah, I gotta like zoom out, because I went to therapy yesterday. Elizabeth was like, somebody paid to fly you out to film something? And I was like, yeah, but, and she's like, how does that make you feel? And I was like, oh,
it's huge. It's huge.
Think about it that way. I thought I wasn't good enough for the job. I thought I was a piece of shit.
Damn it. Fuck. No.
It's just because I've been in my hole too long.
Of course. You got to get out of there.
I got to get out of my hole.
See it from other people's perspective.
So silly. So silly. I was just about to say something else and I don't remember.
You got bankroomed out your brain. Bankroomed out your brain.
And then I came in town, and then you left town the day I came into town.
Yeah, how strange.
That is strange.
Yeah, you were out of town, and then I pieced out to West Texas to go to the Infinite Hellscape, which was fucking awesome. I think this was their 3rd annual Infinite Hellscape.
I love the desert.
It was so fun.
Pretty.
And like when we were driving out there, like watching the like the woodland turn into scrubland, and like hearing Dan...
Is that a word? Scrubland?
Yeah. Hearing Dan describe the different environments. Because he's a geographer.
Oh, shit!
he was like, I was like, look at the flowers, I love the flowers. And he was talking about like scrub and bushes, and I was like, well, that was a tree. And he was like, well, how do you define tree? And it was just a really fun time.
Tell me how.
I was like, well, it had a trunk. It seemed to have a trunk. But yeah, he's really smart.
Wow.
Swing. But music festival, lots of cool. It was like a DIY thing, so no corporate sponsors to be beholden to, and everybody was just like hauling their own shit, setting up their own shit, doing everything themselves. It was so beast. So many different types of music, so many fun people, beautiful stars, like the best stars I've ever seen. We stayed in this crazy B&B called Eve's Garden in Marathon, which had a koi pond inside the fucking building and like a 25-year-old bougainvillea like spread across the ceiling, sunflowers indoors.
I had a regular at Otoko. She said, my son moved out to Marathon to write a book, but he hasn't come back.
No.
I was like, honey, you go out there, I'm gonna do this. You're not coming back.
It's so cool to like be removed to a tiny spot like that, and just like walk around on the dusty roads. I don't know if I would want it permanently, but it's definitely a sick dose of something a little more magical than the city. Can also be magical too in a different way,
but the desert is magical.
Yeah,
it's magical.
It's so cool. You just like look down the street and like see nothing. Like you see where the town ends, and there's like a railroad track and like a tumbleweed, and you're like, holy fuck, we're in
no
the
one
middle.
should live here.
This
and you're
is
like,
crazy.
Yeah.
But the show was at a place called the French Grocer, and they did like they had like a flat top set up outside and like a couple like ancient friars. I wanted to fuck with those friars. They were so
imbued
old
with amazing
yeah, they looked
energy.
like steampunk shit. Like they looked so old,
like second gen friars.
Yeah, like so old. But they were just like making a ton of chips to serve with the burgers. I drank a lot of Modelo beer, which was a blast. Danced, ran around, swam, lots of swimming. Did a lot of swimming. Once we got to Marfa, we let's see. No, it was in Alpine. We went to the like wind down show. It was like kind of a cool the music was kind of like ambient. Like there were no guitars. It was mostly like violins and like weird instruments I don't know the names of, but it was like super ethereal. And Clara, her band Greenwood, she like goes out into nature and records like bird sounds and like babbling brooks and like cool natural sounds, and then like mixes them for 2 years and then puts them into her violin pieces. It's so fucking sick. It's like this is fucking art. These are artists.
That's art. That's people. Yes. They're not
trying to make money.
They're doing the thing because they have to.
Yeah, it like wells up inside them, and they have to figure out a way to articulate it to the rest of the world. And that's their charge in life. And to be surrounded by people like that, like there's this awesome band called Trunk, which was really funny. Like they're really good musicians, but the frontman Tomas was hilarious, and he works for the library here in Austin. But they like had a song about chopped cheese, which was hilarious, and they talked about like the Chili's that's at 45th and Lamar. But it's
dude,
so
that Chili's is
good.
always fucking packed.
Yes, it's like the best Chili's
packed.
in town. But and then blank Hellscape. So like the two bands that started the festival were the Infinites, which is Dan's band, and blank Hellscape, which is like these 3 dudes from Detroit, and they make like electronic doom metal fucking, I don't know, like if Daft Punk were gothic or something. I don't know. It's like hard to describe.
Makes sense to me.
But it's like industrial, and like the way that I describe it, it sounds like I wouldn't like it, but it was fucking awesome. It was just like the pulsating heartbeat of Detroit, but like electronic sounds too. And then the singer like had this like distortion over it, and he was just like, and it was so primal but also like futuristic. I was so into it. I've been listening to nothing but Blank Hellscape since I got home.
Thank you. I needed something that isn't System of a Down to listen
It's
to.
crazy. But yeah, to be surrounded by that many people making art, like their own version of art, was really cool. There was another band called Left Out with this lady named Somia and her partner Walter, like making music together, but she is like Indian and studied like traditional like raga classic Indian music, but she like put electronic like distortion and stuff over it, and it was like and she's like playing a synth. It was so fucking sick. It was amazing.
Did this actually happen?
It was a dream. I couldn't believe it. And then like the surrounding, like the sun was setting in the background.
I was like, to hear gothic futuristic metal and
there were cool visuals
Indian,
like projected over them too. Like it was insane. And then so after the big show, you know, Infinites played and then Blank Hellscape played, and then it was over. I was really tired, and I was kind of miffed because I ordered a burrito for Dan, and then somebody just busted it and just threw it away, which, you know, it happens. Like, they were trying to close, like they were in closing mode, so they were just chucking everything. So Dan still needed to like wrap up and load out whatever, and I was like kind of tired, kind of pissed off, so I just like I walked to where the after party would be, and I stuck my head in, and I was like, meh, not by myself. And so I went and just found like a quiet spot to like stargaze, which was right off of the main street, so I kept on seeing people walk right by, and I was kind of hiding in plain sight, and I got like kind of joy out of that. And I got a second wind after looking at the stars. And then me and Dan and Jared and the dudes from Blank Hellscape, Ethan, Andrew, and Max, went to the after party, and we danced our tushes off. And it was like dance music, but there was some cumbia, and we were just like
cumbia, like
where does cumbia come from? It's like Latin music, but there's like strong beats and like some other instrumentation. It was so fun. It felt like we were at a wedding. Like, you know how you just like fucking tear it up at a wedding? It felt like that. And there was like a bone wall, like this wall that was like covered in bone, like artfully arranged bones and like black light paint, and there were black lights and fog machine.
Like a venue kinda.
It's like an old gas station that's not used that way anymore.
Sick.
And when we drove past it in the broad daylight, we were like, doesn't look like we had a big dance party there, but we definitely did.
And somebody was there playing music. Was there a lot of people there, or just a handful?
It was a really small, it was probably as big as your kitchen, but there was like 20, 30 people.
Oh shit, yeah. That to me is a lot of people in the desert. Like that's
Yeah. It was the after party for the festival. It was so fun. The next day we did that like ambient nature set, and they were doing biscuits and gravy. So I got biscuits and gravy during that. And then we drove out to Balmoral and swam in a spring-fed pool.
I love Balmoral. I think about going out there a lot. Balmoral is... Do you have like those weird black catfish come up to you and they're like nibbling your elbows and stuff?
Yeah, they were all over the bottom, and I even saw like a big turtle and like a ton of fish.
Amazing out there.
It was so beautiful. And cool water. And like Dan and I were singing songs to each other because we realized we both like this one Big Thief song called Not, and she's like, not the energy really, she says like not something over and over again, and we were just like – 'Cause singing it to each other. It was awesome.
Friday to Tuesday. You came back Tuesday? Came back Monday?
Came back Monday evening. It was a 6.5 hour drive.
Yeah.
So we left Monday morning and got back Monday evening.
Long drive, yeah.
But it was so fun. It was so amazing. But I was so inspired by all of the artists.
Yeah.
Just like doing their thing, whatever it may be. So it gave me more juice to like figure out how I want to express myself.
It's funny. Elizabeth and I were talking about that yesterday. There must be something in the air.
I can feel it coming in the air tonight.
Oh Lord. Whoa. Should have noodled the catfish. They're like pitch black catfish. I don't know what kind of catfish they are.
I would eat that.
Would you?
I think so.
I've never had catfish.
It has a different texture than other fish. Some people don't like it, but I think it's delicious when it's like cornmeal breaded and fried.
Ooh.
Some spots just specialize in catfish fry. I think it's delish.
It's that gigantic fucking ancient catfish fry place off of
Catfish Parlor?
Yeah.
Yeah. I went there with my uncle once.
What's it like on the inside? Because it looks...
It's like a saloon. Like an old... I think they closed it, though. Wasn't it on Manchac or Stasny? Something like that?
Might be more than one.
Yeah.
Because there's like a big one off of 290. And I was like,
it's
man,
still open.
that
I'll
looks
take
like,
you out there.
That looks like a fucking museum.
Southern cooking. Finger licking good. Oh!
Ooh.
Okay.
Ooh.
Hold the line.
Line held.
So the festival was great. When I came home, I was reading my book. Where is my Mod section? Okay.
I just saw the word vegetable puppet.
Oh, dude, I was talking to Morgan, who I met briefly at God Morning America, like the Valentine's Day God Morning America shoot, and they came out to West Texas for the festival, and then we both ended up at Chateau Wright, like a winery where the dude Sam was staying, and we were talking about puppets, and they are like getting into puppets, and I was like, I fucking want to be into puppets. And my friend Indigo, who recently moved, I thought I was going to like go on a puppet journey with her, but maybe it'll be with Morgan, just like making cool puppets, because I want like vegetable and fruit puppets to like come out of the fridge and tell me stuff, you know. And maybe felt will be the right way to go. I don't know. We'll see.
Vegetable puppets, baby.
Vegetable
Stay tuned.
puppets. So I'm still reading that book by Brian Greene, Until the End of Time. But he introduced it as like physics, and he like went over like the physics of entropy and whatever, evolution, all the particles, and then he like linked consciousness to our particles, and now he's been talking about like really amorphous topics like creativity. Like, why did we start making art? Like, why did language, religion, art, music, why did those things come to be? Like, because if you think about it from like a survival standpoint, how does that make us fitter for survival? So
Right.
Why would our ancestors have come up with those things? But I thought this quote was cool. It says, "Art has been about stirring up and shaping the emotions in a way that binds and inculcates those under its sway as participants in a culture." And it's cool to think about how art sort of inspires emotions, but it's also a way for you to kind of harness your emotion and like communicate with people in a way, like a wordless kind of way. And how like music hits without having to describe how it's hitting or like why it's hitting. You don't have to understand what it's doing to you for it to do it to you, you know?
Right.
And that kind of like wordless transmission of emotion, or like it reminds me, because we went to the Austin Film Society and saw the movie The Beast, which was which was about a woman in 2044 who didn't like her job of like taking temperature readings on some kind of tank or something, and she wanted to become more fit for another job that would be more fulfilling, but like there's 67% unemployment because AI has mostly taken over. So she goes to like the AI organization, and it's super trippy the way that she was like walking through the world. Like you have to put on like a full face mask, and there's no people around. There's like wolves and deer like in city streets. Is such a cool visual. But like she goes to the AI and they're like, we can remove your traumas from your past lives so that you don't have. They basically wanted to get rid of her emotions, but she like had this great love in her past lives, so they like showed in like the 1800s what it was like, and like the early 2000s what it was like, all these different versions of what their love was like, and it was always like frustrated. Like they never really got to see it through. And she just kept on, you know, battling with, well, I want a better job, but do I really want to lose this part of me that's kind of ineffable, like my emotional self? Like I don't want to, I feel like I'll lose who I am if I don't have that side of me. And so like this experience at the festival and like, I don't know, music in general, it's like what we wouldn't be who we are if we didn't have those aspects of ourselves. Do you think that AI will inevitably take over and deem us unfit for living in this world because we are so emotional and kind of swayed by jealousy or rage or depression or, you know, the things that make us humane?
I think about AI a lot, and I do wonder, you know, video games went from Pong to
Tetris,
fucking whatever you want to fuck. Like
slaves of Rome.
In a short amount of time. You never could have fathomed that when you looked and played at Pong. You never could have pictured it. But slowly but surely you could picture it as more and more.
Yeah, you're like, holy shit, I'm going to build my own wife and never have to meet a person. I'm going to
build my own The Orifice, which is a machine that has AFI. Oh my God.
A machine that has a fire inside.
It's a machine that has AI that will like tell you how much it loves you. And it's like, we were always going, do you remember the fucking movie Her with
Yeah. Joaquin Phoenix.
With Joaquin Phoenix, and like AI was able to elicit a feeling out of him that he had never experienced before, and that's the way I've always kind of pictured it.
That's the whole Blade Runner thing.
And same with
like the replicants didn't want to get, you know, disengaged because they felt like they had a life. They were conscious.
Also, Altered Carbon was another really awesome show where the AI bartenders were like, his was Edgar Allan Poe.
Nice.
And it was fucking wicked, smart, fun person to hang out with in ways that they don't get caught up in their own shit. They can like lead you on a journey of reducing your fucking karma. And, you know, they're like, look, you want us to take out this liver? Because we can do that. So I don't know.
But I mean, would you want to remove the trauma of your past lives?
Well, my thing is, I'm not attached to anything. So
Yeah.
I'm not attached to my experiences or even who I think I am.
Mm-hmm.
But I'm not a lot of people. I think to function in this reality, we steep ourselves in identity to a point of obsession in a way.
Yeah, definitely. Well, like going out into the world and interacting with other people without a sure sense of self can be dangerous and debilitating and exhausting.
Yeah.
Because, like, I don't know, you almost have to have that type of armor on.
But also at the same time, I think if you're truly expressing who you aren't attached to much.
What, you don't have to contrive or like construct anything in preparation of communication. You're just like,
this is who
open.
I am. Yeah.
You just open the door and whatever comes out is you.
And that's why a lot of artists can go crazy and become hermits.
Yeah.
So it's all about balance, right? It's all about being able to express yourself, but also have empathy and not like.
Well, it's cool because this guy in the book is saying like our artistic inclination and our like desire to express feelings and emotion brings us closer as a group, and that group fitness and that ability to like communicate and socialize at really high levels is what gives us cohesion and carries us into the future together.
And I think like mass shootings and violence and gun violence, and
it's all due to isolation.
It's all, and I've been experiencing that as a mother. You're isolated and then you're with two kids who are going crazy all day. I'm like, this isn't right. This isn't natural.
Right.
We need to be in groups watching artists and experiencing emotions together. You need that. Otherwise you go crazy.
And this is part of the reason why I don't like it when people put like Ted Kaczynski on a pedestal, because he isolated himself and then did violence against people. Like, I like that he was against like he was sort of pro-environment in the way that he didn't want technology to take over.
The guy
Unabomber.
Okay. He lived in Idaho.
Yeah, he like lived out in the middle of nowhere in a shack and was totally off the grid, but he was like making pipe bombs and dropping them off.
Yeah.
Like, some people put him on a pedestal.
I didn't know that people put him on a pedestal.
They think that he like had a good idea, and they sort of don't want society to go in like the technological direction because they deem it, bad for humanity to like be on social media or like not have real physical interactions with people in real life, which is, it's just like the balance thing, like you said. Like, social media is convenient for us to share things that we're working on, things that we think are funny, but it's not a replacement for being with real people in real life.
Right.
So, I don't know. I can only think of like 2 people who think the Unabomber had a good idea or whatever.
I had no idea that.
But I think some people are inspired by his manifesto. It's like technology is bad for society and we shouldn't embrace it wholeheartedly. Hey?
Did you know that Creative Reuse has a runway?
What?
The Creative Reuse Center has a fashion show, and Elizabeth was just in it, and she showed me her fucking get-up.
Let's go.
It was beautiful. It was like so her challenge was the bucket section of Creative Reuse. And she had like this crazy mini skirt and this bra and this crazy headdress made with like, I don't know what they were, magazine binders or something.
Hell yeah, I'd rather see that than the Met Gala. Respectfully, if you guys are into the Met Gala, whatever.
No, every time I look at that, I'm like, what a fucking fart festival.
It's so wild that like,
why would any pedestrian want to watch that? We want to marvel at fucking rich people do dumb shit?
We want to end war. Like, we don't want to spend all this time and money like looking at celebrities stare into cameras. Isn't it sick? Like, they're just boring? Like, they just like walk and like let people take pictures of them. Why are we doing this?
I don't fucking know.
Why do we do this? But like the Creative Reuse one, I'd be there.
Go pee, babe. Don't sit here and hold it in. Let's read the comments. Megan should make Ma Pod puppets. So in the human past, when we were in small tribe roles were not specified. Everyone would create art. Everyone would help cook and build stuff. Modern society, it's the opposite. Yeah, I actually was just reading about how women warriors have been excluded from the narrative, and how there were a lot of women warriors in tribes, and a lot of women were hunters. And to me, that makes sense, because the rage you experience as a mother could 100% decimate whoever was infiltrating your village. Or catching a bear. You also see that in nature. You see the mothers are the ones, the hunting. So it makes sense that they would tell us that it's just the men. It's just the men doing that. So It's Turbo Time said everyone would create art, everyone would help cook, and everyone would help build stuff. And in modern society, it's the opposite. We have roles. And I was talking about how women warriors and women hunters have been completely left out of the narrative,
Erased from history.
even though a lot of female animals do the hunting, because they're the ones that are feeding their fucking babies. Whereas like the males will attack and defend against predators, but they're not always the one getting the food. It's a shared responsibility, and
Every living thing needs to eat, so every living thing knows how to eat.
Yeah, we weren't just sitting there fucking making a basket.
If the boy didn't bring us a fucking burger. We can eat.
We can fucking eat, mate.
Well, I mean, it's like this feedback loop. Like, men somehow rose above women. As of yet, we can't determine how or why, but they did. And then it was like, oh, I noticed this man do this cool thing. And then it's like men noticing men. And then we have the way society is now. And it's like men never noticed women or something. I don't know.
Well, no, if a woman had any sort of ailment, she had to be fingered.
Let's set her on a stool and then shoot her clitoris with a hose.
That alone, like during the 19th century.
Yeah, like
that is one. Just
you haven't been fucking her right. This will solve her hysteria.
Summit says you can thank the Roman Catholic Church for pretty much every part of history that's been erased. Yes, I often think about this as like the homogenization that we always come back to, that the Catholic Church has.
I like to zoom it out to the Abrahamic religions, just like in general. But please go on. The Catholic Church.
You are creating this beautiful petri dish of exploiting.
Yes.
Control
is the name of the game. Because you control the narrative and you control the people. And you get their taxes.
You know what I read the other day? The FBI made up a fake company in the 80s.
Enron. Just kidding. That's a real company.
It was a real company that did real terrible things. They made up a fake company and they bribed U.S. congressmen to see who would take the bribe, and 25% of congressmen took the bribe.
Dude, not surprised.
That was in the 80s. Can you imagine now how many people would take the bribe?
Fucking all of them.
Especially if you're offering like, well, I'll give you $700,000. You're like, oh yeah, whatever you want. You don't want the natives to have access to water? Sounds great.
Yeah, well,
doesn't affect me.
Yeah, I learned that from The Simpsons. Remember Mr. Smith Goes to Washington? Or what was it called? Lisa Smith Goes to Washington? She like goes there to read an essay that she wrote about what makes her proud to be an American or whatever. And then she like witnessed a congressman taking a bribe. And then she like rewrote her piece. She's like, the fetid swamp waters in which the government claims to be. And but I think it ended on a happy note. Like it ended with the FBI like cracking down on the.
I know somebody who works high up in I have to speak anonymously. He works for
The organization.
the U.S. government.
With a capital.
And he has to deal with, they're like, okay, great, we'll start this project, we'll get it going, and nothing ever happens because they've saved and reserved the spots in the administrative part of this place. Those are all for veterans of war, like high generals. They need a job when they come back. And it's in a place where that has nothing to do with war or the military. And so nothing ever gets done because you have geriatric dinosaurs who demand respect and demand to be paid 6 figures a year because they've sacrificed their fucking lives to be a part of the machine.
Right.
And then they all just sit there. And so they can't do anything. It's literally just a holding place for people to get paid. And I'm like, cool, that's where our taxpayers' money is going. It's just to like feed the fucking defense contracts.
Yeah, man. The system, has it ever functioned properly?
No.
Or maybe it does.
No, but I think
maybe it functions so that those people get money instead of poor people.
I came to the conclusion recently, and I didn't know if this meant that Mopod would just stop.
What?
that humans are the problem in every equation. You know, because we often find ourselves discussing systems in society.
And
it's just
systems
like,
are made by people.
Humans.
Of
like
people.
Humans are the common denominator that shits upwards onto the rest of the equation flailingly. But I do think we're going to start seeing a change of that. I do think people are tired of the way it's always been. You know, I'm actively fighting the 35 expansion, and there's a lot of people doing that because it doesn't make sense to do that. And
I thought they were going to put it underground.
No, they're just bulldozing everything on the way to downtown, everybody's house, everybody's building.
Huh. Yeah, I thought they were going to sink the highway under the road. Can we do some more research?
Yeah.
I mean, I trust you.
No,
I just don't know when they pivoted the plan or when I looked this information up.
No, they're trying to like put green space over it or whatever, but
that'd be wicked. I'll
look it up.
I want more bike lanes. I know we're working on it. More bike shit. I'm trying to ride my bike.
I just found a fucking motorcycle ghost story, and I cannot wait to read more about it.
Oh, hell yeah.
Like
a motorcycle that is imbued with someone's departed
there's
spirit.
A haunted road outside of Miami University where somebody died and got decapitated or some shit.
Is there a covered bridge? Ghosts fucking love covered bridges. Imagine having trains. I would fucking love a train. Can you imagine a train that goes from
anywhere to anywhere?
Anywhere to anywhere. I would ride that shit.
You know how nice it would be to just grab my kids and go on a train and I don't have to fuck with my fucking car or hit Ruby's head with the car door all the time or have her almost get hit all the time. It's when you have kids and going from parking lot to highway, it's horrible. It's horrible.
Yeah.
I want to take a train and then just go walk around.
Have you rode the train here in Austin?
No, because it doesn't go anywhere.
I rode it from Cherrywood to culinary school when I was going there.
But it's like
yeah, do you want to go to the Domain? If not, like,
okay, I went to the Domain and I decided I'm never going back there ever again. It is Lucas and I were terrified. I was like, I don't know. Okay, so the Domain is an outdoor mall. It's becoming its own strange city. They're going to renovate the whole thing, even though they just built it. I fucking freaked there. I don't understand it.
Is that where the gumball water tank thing picture came from? Okay, why did you go up there in the first place?
We have a refillable bottle of perfume by Le Labo. And it lasts us like 2 years, so we wanted to go get it refilled. So we went to the Le Labo in the Nordstrom's, which was walking into Nordstrom's. I was like,
dude, I bought
There's so
bras
much
there once.
shit in there. It's shit.
It's all shit.
It's all shit. Ruby saw the makeup and was like,
Ooh, yeah.
we're coming for my birthday. I was like,
Turns into a fucking demon.
we're getting dirty looks. I'm like, babe, open it all up.
Fucking smash it with your little fingers.
She did. She found like all the testers. I was like, yeah, babe, fucking
destroy it.
Go forth. I'm like, all of this is the same. It's the same.
Yep.
It's just in a different box.
It's all about the box. It's all about the fucking box. That's the whole point of like marketing and like capitalism. You think that you're getting something different, but it's just with a different fucking sticker over top of it. And if it has a Versace sticker on it versus if it has like an Equate sticker on it, it's all the same bullshit.
Oh my god, the Office Space printer scene was filmed in the field where they built the domain.
No way. Legendary.
That's crazy.
That's legendary.
We should find the exact spot.
It's probably where that milkshake, or what was that ice cream place we went to? It had the jars.
I can't ever go there ever again. I had such a fucking wild panic attack there. And then we go to the Labo and she's like, oh, we don't do that at this location. And I'm like, are you not
A Lalabo? I'm sorry.
Lucas was like, so we are destroying our brains for what?
We came to this
here
fucking
for
Daytona
what?
Beach. No fucking reason.
And everybody there is like, it was so psychedelic. Everybody's face was morphing to me and turning purple. Everybody's addicted to their phones.
Yeah.
Purses are $900. On
And
this
people
show,
refer to
how
them
much
as
I
babies.
fucking feel how I feel about purses, and all of it is trash, and it's all pilgrim clothes up there. Like, it is weird, fucking
like
colonized,
kind of like.
fucking. There's nothing different or unique or.
I don't understand trendy fashion.
It's horrible.
I don't get it. I don't understand. Can somebody explain it to me?
I'm never going up there ever again unless it's an emergency. Did you see the domain memo that was leaked where they talk about how it's designed for the white trophy wife? Like you walk down 4 stores and you're like, this isn't for me. It's not for you either. Like it's not designed for us.
Right. No, it's like, it's for people who have too much money and too much time.
Why would you ever want to live at the fucking mall?
I don't know. Well, I don't know. It's like a different version of culture. It's like the commercial culture.
Buy until you die?
Pretty much. And I don't know. Do people who live that way need friends? Do they need to know what real love is? Do they need to go experience something that like opens their third eye? Like, is there any way to like bring them back from the precipice?
It sucks to dump that much effort into the stores. And it's not busy. It's not like those stores are doing that well.
They're just generating trash. It's just like a temporary distraction that generates trash.
I saw Peepaw there.
Huh? What do you mean?
I stopped dead in my fucking tracks. There was a woman who had a dog that was Peepaw. He has come back.
Peepaw back.
He was bigger and his hair was a little bit longer. I had a dog. He was a Chow, Yorkie.
The most beautiful,
Corgi
unique
mix.
face you've ever seen.
He was the most insane. I've never seen a dog that comes anywhere close to looking like him. And he was at the fucking domain. I was like, he came back.
That's something then.
Yes, I told Lucas because Lucas was like going to a dark place because we were at the domain. And I was like, we saw Peepaw. Mm-hmm. We saw Peepaw. Mm-hmm. And the lady gave us free perfume samples. So it's fine.
It's fine.
Let's get out of here.
Let's fucking go.
Let's get out of here. Do you think AI is going to take over?
I think it already has.
Yeah.
I don't think it's insidious. I think it has to be programmed to become insidious. I think that it'll always be controlled by people who want money.
Will we ever get tired of wanting money?
Well, no, because money is a means of control.
It's opportunity.
It gives you power. It gives you, like, if the right people get money, then they'll redistribute it or like help people with it. But if a certain type of person gets money, they'll just continue to want to exploit people to get more money. I think everybody has the potential for good and for bad. And depending on the context, you know, everybody is capable of both. Right?
We need more women in
Dude,
charge.
I miss Savers. Savers was awesome.
So, dude, there was a Savers at the bottom of the hill that my grandma lived on, and we'd go there all the time. Is Savers gone? It's gone.
It was on Burnett. I think there's one like much further north, but I haven't been to it. But I used to get a lot of good stuff at Savers. I don't know what happened.
Yeah, there's a store in Lockhart that I have found more clothes than I've ever bought at any other store. And I don't remember it's called Golden Hour or something.
Oh, that sounds right. I want that banana pud. The banana pudding bar. Right. The fresh pudding bar.
It's the world's largest pudding bar.
The world's first only. The world's first alpha and omega pudding bar.
Oh, we got pizza at that really good pizza place.
Pickle pizza. With like dill and shit on it. That was when I started making... Was that when I started making pickle quesadilla? I don't know.
I forgot.
I'm so hungry.
I was like, where am I going to eat lunch? I'm also really hungry. I want a pudding bar. Yeah, we got the banana pudding, but they had all types of pudding. Right?
Oh yeah.
Yeah, she opened it was like an ice cream
she's
freezer.
Like, so, do you want to taste some pudding?
But it was all different kinds of pudding, which I was like if I read pudding bar, I was like, I never go to pudding bar. But then you're there and you're like, oh, fuck it up.
Pudding is just ice cream that's not frozen.
It's really good. I almost
gelatinous.
prefer it over ice cream if I had to pick.
Pudding can be really nice.
Hey.
I'm thinking about it. I'm thinking about pudding.
Hey.
Excuse me. I started thinking about pudding. I need to hide my... Let me tuck that in there. Wait, what kind of pudding do you fuck with? Chocolate?
A really nice
pistachio,
caramel budino with pretzels. Ruby came inside yesterday screaming, something's wrong with Davis.
Oh shit.
you got told this story. I'll tell the pod.
Lucas told me.
She came in, his pee-pee's punched out and there's blood coming out of it. We gotta go, come on. And I said, first things first, babe, you gotta go tell Lucas what you're telling me.
His pee-pee's punched out.
It's called a boner, and he'll be fine. He'll be fine. She's like, no, we gotta go.
It looks bad.
We gotta go.
That's his lipstick.
I don't know why he's got a boner. I feel bad that he doesn't have a lover. I'm like, you just don't ever get to have sex ever again?
What would his lover be like?
Davis's lover? Where is he?
Where you at, boy? Come on over here. We need to ask you some questions.
Davis. You know what? He's getting kind of old manish a little bit. Like, he'll call him and he won't hear me. Davis.
He's sleeping hard.
I know. I just think that. Davis.
Yeah,
Whatever.
He's tuned out.
Papa. That's our time. We gotta go. Papa.
Clean it up, doesn't he? No.
Talking about pudding and
Look,
dog
he
boners.
heard the garage door, but not you saying Davis.
Davis, come here. Come here, brother. No, he's not interested. All right.
Be with the people that you love.
Be with the people that you love.
Let the art inside of you flow out to the outside and kiss and caress the people that you love.
Unearth your expression and do it frequently and often as you possibly can, because it's the only reason we're here.
Do it a little bit more often than you masturbate.
On that note, Summit, have fun at work.
Have fun out there. You know what? Have fun, be nice, and take no shit.
And make good tacos. And if they don't have cilantro or lime, it's not a fucking taco.
If it doesn't have cilantro and lime, it's not a fucking taco.
Oh, there they are.
Ah!